You are now listening to Titan Uncensored.
Good evening, Billy.
Good evening, Jeanette. How are you?
How are you? I'm great. How was last night?
Exciting. Last night was very exciting. We had a great night. Titan Championship Wrestling, Mount Olympus. The Rumble was phenomenal, and the matches were phenomenal, and it was just a all around great night. In fact, anybody that knows me, right, they know. I mean, I love the business. I don't like wrestling, so I'm not a fan. But I don't even allow it in my house. However, last night made me a fan. It was awesome.
There's about three things I'd really like to talk to you about tonight. Obviously, we can talk
Talk to me.
about the Mount Olympus and everything like that. The first one was how was Blaze Haram and Tarzan Duran's match?
When I tell you hardcore was hardcore. I don't think there was anything from anything in the building to the trailer to the ring trailer to I don't know. I thought I saw like tire wrenches in that thing. I mean, I couldn't keep it. In fact, there was a couple of times where I sat there and went, ooh, like I was just like, oh my god. I
I
mean, where are
feel
they
that all the
going with
time.
this, right?
Right.
So right, I was just like, oh man. So there were moments. However, I will say this: Blaze Haram, uh, he let the crowd know, and he let the Titan Nation know that um, there's no more hardcore matches in Titan Championship Wrestling. That
Okay.
was the very final hardcore match that will be seen at Titan Championship Wrestling.
Okay. That's a good
So,
thing to know.
however, he plans on introducing a new title on the anniversary show in January, January 14th at Monsoon, the anniversary. And I mean, we're super stoked to find out what that is.
So I unfortunately was not there yesterday due to some personal issues. However, I was on FaceTime a lot of the time, just like you were, because you know, I was on FaceTime a lot of the time as well.
Awesome.
Um, I want to know about okay, I have to talk about Ben Castle, okay? Fifth out and fifth at the end. Say what?
Ben Castle went in there, regardless of differences between him and I. He went in there and he worked, and he worked his ass off. And you know, he actually wound up getting a little bit of a cut here because he hit the ring post.
Okay.
It didn't stop him. He just kept
It never
going. It
does.
was like a machine. Um, I will give it to him. I mean, the more and more you see the kid, the more and more impressive he's getting. And
Right.
a lot of kudos for him. And you know, big man, and it's just he's up and coming, man. This kid is on a roll to be a star and a very big star.
And the Rumble I saw was amazing as always. As
Thank you.
always.
Thank you. Thank you. And not even thank you to
Um,
me. Thank you for all of that was in that Rumble. Um, honestly, I've been to many a Rumbles and I've seen many a Rumbles. And this one was the probably the best I've ever seen. I mean, it was, everybody was just incredible.
so during the Rumble, I saw that, Jimmy Controversy was in the Rumble and he got beat to shit. And, it happens. It is what it is, obviously, whatever. But there was a lot of new faces there in that Rumble this past yesterday, actually. There was a lot of new
Yeah,
faces in there.
yeah, I will give you that. To
There's
touch
some
on the
new
controversy.
faces. There was some returning faces. There was some people we like, some people we don't like. I want to know what your feel on that is. Like, is this ongoing Rumble going to be new versus old, fresh blood, returning blood? Like, is this something that could be a standpoint for the future?
You mean you never know? I don't know where we're going with it. To touch on, the first thing you said was Jimmy controversy. Is he a poop stain in the independent wrestling? Absolutely. Is he the number two? Sure is. However, okay, that kid went into that Rumble knowing that, you got all the Titan talent in there and all the trouble that he's put independent wrestling through. He wasn't afraid. He knew what he was up against. He went in there and took an unhuman beating like you've never seen in your life. There's a boot marks here, like legit. The boot marks are on his chest, and let me tell you, didn't cry, didn't took it like a man, and he went in the back. Just okay, we did business, and gotta say, I got respect for that, a lot of it.
New blood, Ricky Price repping right here, always, forever. Ricky Price.
That was it was very was watching him, and very promising. I really would say. The kid was. I liked the kid. I did. I liked watching what he was doing in that Rumble, and actually to see him in a one-on-one in the show on a future show per se, would be incredible. Blocks was very surprising as well. Blocks for 3 weeks straight was just on me and on messaging. Even just the persistence of that was just, it was astonishing. Even to the point it was like, look, I don't care what you call me, just put me on the show. And it was like, there's got to be a reason, right? There's got to be a reason somebody's being so persistent. So I put him in, and I'm glad I did. Ken Powers, a machine, a legit machine. That was really awesome. So many. Wow, Jesus. The return of Vince Saris.
I saw that Titan Killer. He's always one of my favorites.
When I first got there, he wasn't there. I had to go run around, and I had to get batteries for the mics and stuff like that. And there was a couple other errands I had to run. I came back. Vince was there. And it was just, it was a moment. Like, he just looked at me. I looked at him, and it was like, all right, He lovingly gave me a big hug and hugged him back. And we spoke outside. We did. We had a great conversation. And, it was water under a bridge. And I'm going to give you the scoop on this one, right? The Titan Killer, Vince Saris, is now on the Titan roster. He is back at Titan Championship Wrestling.
Yay.
Yeah.
So before we get into the whole Fury Fetzke situation, I would like to discuss a little bit more about the talent, because they are amazing. Is it because I wasn't there? I'm not really sure, so I'm going to ask you: did Ray Kalitri retain his title?
Yes, ma'am. Ray Kalitri, Encore had let us know Friday night that he had got injured on Wednesday and couldn't come back from that injury. So he wasn't going to be able to make it. And, we wish Encore the best and hope, he gets better. The Ray Kalitri went out there, and they were pretty much going to wrap it up on the segment. However, SP went out there and made the decision that Jocko was going to wrestle Ray Kalitri for the middleweight championship. Good call by SP. Really good call by SP. And he made that match happen, which was an epic match, by the way. Really, really good. Like, you separate Jocko from, I believe it was called the Takeover, I believe it was called. You separate that or what was the name of that tag team? What was their tag team? I don't remember. Faceless Ones. You separate that and you take Jocko out of that element. You put him in that one-on-one, man, it's a whole, it's a whole different element. So he did great against Ray Kalitri. Right. However, Ray Kalitri was victorious. Correct.
Speaking of the Takeover and the Faceless Ones and things like that, we have someone in the comments, Jerry Melendez. He was a part of the Rumble as well, right?
Jerry. Jerry was in there twice. Jerry, we actually called him 5.5. And then Jerry got one over, right? So Jerry, the first time Jerry went out there was 5.5 was Jerry Outcast. Next thing I know, 15.5, he goes out there with Jerry Melendez. I know he's been really trying to be seen by Titan management and myself, but obviously you could see what we have in that ring. So, I mean,
I've seen him a few times, and I feel like he's really trying to step himself up to get himself seen.
Maybe one day. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I can't help but to respect the hustle, and this is what 3 times in a row now he's done something to try to be seen, but right. I don't know. I mean, you're very weird because the fans were behind him, so it was. They wanted to see if he was going to have that moment. I don't know. But ultimately it didn't. So we wish him the best of luck.
So we went over. So the lightweight championship. Rocket.
Wow. The Rocket Daniel Alexander, when I tell you they tore down that house, and I mean legitimately tore down the house. I mean, that match from bell to bell had people just on their feet. I mean, it was just an incredible match. And the one spot on that match that they did a flying crossbody. I mean, when I tell you, I mean, it was just levitation when they hit. It was, you heard the smack. And that match was just, when I tell you, nothing but professionalism and things I didn't think was possible. They pulled off, and ultimately victorious was Rocket. Rocket is now Titan lightweight championship.
I really wish I was there to see that one. I can't wait to.
And believe me, do not take anything away from Daniel Alexander.
Oh, absolutely
by
not.
No stretch of the imagination. That man, let me tell you, is going to far exceed what even his goals are. He is incredible, really is. Right? Absolutely. Rocket is incredible. Daniel Alexander is incredible. It's just Rocket was able to just pull that off last night, and I could see them two both on TV. Absolutely.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Absolutely.
So, the end of the Rumble, I heard that Gangon retained his titles.
I posted earlier. There's no words. There's nothing to describe it.
But
he went in from number 10.
Right.
Number 10. But he was in that ring with TJ Marconi, Matt Tremont, PJ Savage, which, by the way, came in number 1, by the way. TJ Marconi was in at number 3. Matt Tremont was in at number 4. These men took it all the way out there like that. And Anthony Gangon, and he went through every single one of them to retain his titles. When I tell you the best of the best, I mean, you're at monster status in order to get through that Rumble. And it was epic. And I mean, epic moment.
So who were the last three out of the Rumble? I know obviously Gangon was the last one standing. But
Yes, Gango was the last one saying.
who else was yeah like who did Gangon in the last four? Who did Gangon eliminate?
So in the last four that was still there, right? So poetic justice for Anthony Gango. I mean, it's really a big, huge story to tell. I mean, you could probably write a book on this one. You know, I saw the podcast, right? I saw Uncensored when Anthony was on there, and he's right. Facts. Johnny Moran, you know, did eliminate him twice for the past two Rumbles. Poetic Justice, he eliminated Johnny Moran to retain his titles. It was epic. The Titan before that was Rick Recon. Rick Recon, actually, it was very close. When I tell you close, they both went over the rope. Only 1 foot of Anthony Gangon's touched. It wasn't the second foot, but both of Rick Recon's touched, which eliminates Rick Recon. So it was close. I mean, it really was,
Wow.
and that was a shocking moment. It really was. Prior to that, it's PJ Savage. PJ Savage came in at number one. Number one. That Rumble was long.
And lasted throughout. That's crazy.
That Rumble was long. And there was a moment that I even sat there and said, you know what? Is PJ going to take this? Like, am I going to see PJ as the heavyweight champion? I mean, listen, it's undeniable. Like, you know, he very well could definitely be a champion. And the gentleman before him was Wrecking Ball Legursky. So when he eliminated Wrecking Ball Legursky, he got eliminated himself. And let me tell you, Anthony Gangon, even with them, he was victorious. I mean, what more really do you say? You know? But like I said, poetic justice, because he eliminated Johnny Moran.
Right. So I see that Amanda Fuentes won the Funhouse Wrestling Women's title.
I'm not gonna lie, that was Becca was all hot and heavy in for that match. I had major confidence in Becca. I spoke to her in the beginning before the show. I had all this confidence in her, and could she shock the world? Of course. However, Amanda Fuentes decided she was gonna take out Becca, not only physically but mentally, and which made Becca wasn't able to do the match.
Okay.
And being that she wasn't able to do the match because she did that successfully, however, I will handle that on my own.
Right.
The match became between Amanda Fuentes and Angel Orsini. And that was a hard-hitting match. It was a very, very great match. Ultimately, Amanda became victorious, and she was the Funhouse Women's Champion. It wasn't until later on in the night, which the video will show up. I will put the video up. I myself was attacked by Angel Orsini. So I have a problem with both of these women. And I will be handling that behind the scenes.
Yeah, of course. So it's about that time, as Lizzo would say. She's some rapper somewhere.
Oh.
So let's clear the elephant in the room. I obviously was not there for the talk. I would like to know what had happened with the talk between you and Miss Fury.
I was told, all right, so I'll give you the whole scoop, exactly how everything went down. And this is nothing fabricated, nothing over exaggerated. This is really how it went down. Jimmy came in to the locker room. He was like, all right, so obviously I knew he was there. I was told that Jimmy was driving him regardless. He got there. I went outside. Um, there was nothing. It was just, like, all right, you're ready. We're on. Came in. His music hit. He went out. Followed up by my music hitting. I went out. And it was that moment when I first went out of the curtain. It was that moment. Okay, how am I going to react? I'm here at my show. I have personal issues with him anyway, real life personal issues, right? So am I going to keep this a pro and blow it on my show? Or am I just going to be, stupid and do something stupid and jeopardize Titan altogether? And my priority is Titan Championship Wrestling. I mean, he's got a great roster. Don't get it twisted. He's got great people that are on there. But my priority is Titan, not SWF. It just as his should be SWF, not Titan. So when I got out there, I got in the ring. He had his feet up on the table, and I felt that to be very disrespectful.
Oh, absolutely.
So I did. I did. 100%.
You're better than me, man.
I slapped his feet right off the table. I told him, you're in a Titan house.
I would have done the
same
thing. Yeah.
Absolutely. Without, and no holding back, by the way. Like, he's got a bruise, I'd be happy. With that, after that, I mean, we sat and we talked, and I gave him my praises for beating his demons, and it's a good thing that he did. You don't want to see anybody not beating the demons, right? However, I did cross the fact of what he's done, and I did make him acknowledge and eat crow of the fact that he was in a Titan ring, in a Titan venue, in front of Titan crowd, right? He had to walk through a locker room of all Titans. So I did make sure he knew about that, and I reminded him. It was very intense. I'm not gonna lie, and I did everything I can to hold me back, but there was that one moment that I did black out. Unscripted, it wasn't planned, and I did throw in his face about his ego, and I did throw in the face how everybody walked away from him, how Titan Championship Wrestling, we've done a lot of it. Listen, we've done a lot of things to each other. Really, it is what it is. But I'm the one that got it the worst, right? So even with all the things that he did do and all the things that I did make up for, even monetary to people, right?
Right.
The gripe shouldn't be on these people. It should be me. I'm the one that came out of pocket. I was the one that was screwed and everything else. Whatever. When he flipped that table over, honest to God, I really thought he was going to business for himself. Bad move.
Right.
I did black out. No bullshit. I'm not going to front nothing. If he would have even flinched his fingers, it would have been bad.
Right.
I don't know what was going through his mind at that point, but I know through mine, I wasn't really thinking. We said, I watched it back, right? So I said a few things, and he said a few things, and it was that moment where I needed a mental break before I do something stupid.
Right.
I don't recall what he said to me. I think it had something to do with go hard, and then when I turned around and I needed that mental break for a second, I said, you want to go hard? Well, we're going to go Brooklyn, go hard. And out came Steve Mack. Steve Mack gave it to him point blank, and he really did. He gave it to him straight. He was like, if we're going to go into a war, we're going to do any type of war. We're going to do any type of thing, but it's to the death. It is not, this is not taken lightly. There's a lot of personal in this, right? So a lot of personal. So I don't really know the conclusion. I don't know where it's going even after. Sure, my emotions got the best of me. But Titan did agree to whoop that SWF ass.
So I watched it live. Okay. And we were talking about earlier in our last or first official Titan Uncensored, right? That that Titan and SWF would not be working together.
So
now we're having a Titan versus SWF, my best versus your best. That's working with them. What came out of this? Why now? Why all of a sudden we have this conversation with,
So tensions were high, right? So tensions were high. It was definitely not in my best state of mind, right? So when you're calling me out, especially after the history that I got, remember I was there a long time, and to have the person that's in front of me who did me dirty in that moment, I don't know if it's a point to be proven. I don't know if it's a point to be proven Titan versus SWF. I don't know. I don't know where if it was just a superiority thing with me.
Right.
Now, we're not going to make it out to be what people think it's going to be. It's not going to be what they think it's going to be. But the fans were hot. I mean, I'm sure if you watched it and you said you watched, you heard them, and the fans were hot for it. They wanted it. I mean, listen, we came out the curtain, we both sat down, and all you heard was, "This is awesome." We didn't even say a word yet.
Now, what about those people that left during your segment? Do you think you're going to lose them as fans because now you're going to be working with SWF?
I had nobody leave during that segment. Not one person left during that segment. Not one person left after that segment. So nobody left.
Or walked out during the segment?
Nope. Not one.
Okay.
Not one person left. Not one person left their seat. Not one person left the show. Not one person. One person walked off the show during that segment.
And so then, what if? Trying to word this PG-13 appropriate. Explain what's going to come of this Titan versus SWF. If this isn't a working together feud and whatever, what's going to come out of this? Is it going to be the best man for the best man? Is it going to be like, what's going to happen? What is the end goal in this whole? We got the personal stuff out of the way.
Let's get this.
You sat down. You talked to Fury.
It's still personal because you're making it personal, right? So with these questions about him and what we're going and where we're going, we're making it personal. Let me explain something to you, okay? Although I do respect his roster. I mean, he does. He's got great roster on it. Evander James, Brando Lee, King Jeter. This Everest guy is a mountain. Mantequilla. There's so many of on his roster that are just incredible wrestlers, right?
Right.
But my priority is an SWF. That's not my priority. I am not at all whatsoever. And even he knows this. Fury knows this. I am not going to take my eyes off the ball. My eyes are still on Titan. I got 2023 all gas, no brakes. That's not changing. Okay. Do I care about the SWF product? No, because I care about the Titan product. I care about Goddesses of War. I care about Funhouse of Wrestling. That's what I care about. Do I care about Rob Fury in the business? Absolutely not. So if you want to get real, this is real. I do not care about him in the business. In fact, I was the one that made his ass stay home for a year. I was the one where he did all that talking, outdraw him in Jackson while he ran 20 minutes away in Homedale. So no, I don't care. Believe me when I tell you on my kids, I don't care. When time has it and that moment happens, then that'll be what it's going to be. But the fans wanted it, and that fans and that sound and that fans, and let me tell you something. Even there was a lot of guys in the back that turned around and said, now I understand why you did what you did. Now I get it. Because let me tell you, prior to the split, because you weren't around then. And I know because you weren't around then, you didn't see it. But prior to the split of me and him and all the dirty shit that he did do to me, SWF was packing 250, 300, 350 on certain shows, on big shows in that building, Berkeley, especially the Bayville Little League. Big houses. And of course, maybe the drama between him and I on the internet, maybe that killed it. Maybe that made people leave, or they didn't want to come back to independent wrestling, or whatever the case may be. And again, it's not a personal thing. There's no friendship. I ain't gonna be friends with him. It's not my boy. There's no quote unquote any business dealings other than, hey, you got a couple of guys that think they're badasses. Well, I got a couple of guys, because I'm telling you now, I'm giving him nothing. Zero. No platform. Did you see my post today about him? No, you didn't. But I'm sure you've seen my post about Anthony Gangone. That's my priority. Okay? I'm giving him nothing. Because my priority and all my attention is on Titan Championship Wrestling. But when it's time for Titan Championship Wrestling to step in a ring with SWF, when it happens, because don't know when it's happening, you can best believe Titan Championship Wrestling is giving them nothing. And that's real.
Okay.
You know, there was a lot of emotions even for people that were there, people in the back. Definitely mixed. But it was business. I didn't know it was business. And, you know, like I said earlier, especially with him, there was a lot of things that he did screwed up to certain people. There is.
Absolutely.
And to those people that he did screwed up things to, I covered out of my own pocket. I paid them. And when I came out of my pocket and paid them, guess what it did? You got paid. So yeah, you could be mad because you know what, he did do a dick thing, and of course. But the gripe is mine. Because you still got paid. I owe that. And it took everything in my power, because of everything that has happened in the past. And let me tell you something, a lot of people that are around now really don't know. Yeah, I exposed them on the internet 100 times. So did everybody else. Right. All right? And just like a cockroach with a nuclear bomb, bro, they just don't go away. He did not go away. He came back. Okay? Listen, that wasn't my doing. I didn't bring him back, right? He made himself come back. However, it doesn't say no promo like, oh, I'm going to take him out and all that. That's not the case at all. It's not the case at all. You understand? But again, the gripes are mine.
So, with all of that, the Fury, the show, the everything, I have Mr. Russell here that would like to ask you a few questions.
Sure.
Just hold on one moment. Put him in here.
No problem.
Mr. Billy, boss man.
What's up, David? How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you? I've been listening to the conversation, and let me first say, you know what? We waved the Titan flag strong last night at Mount Olympus, and
Awesome.
you know, and I think that's going to be something that I think I got some stuff for us to just to spread the fire of what we are proud of Titan Championship Wrestling, and yeah, I know how you got on the mic there and said we're going to go to. He's how that guy got on the mic. Rob got on the mic and he's like, "We're going to go to war." I'm like, all right, this is not going to. He doesn't know what he's stepping himself into. He does not.
You're right. You're 100% correct, because Titan is not giving him anything.
Absolutely, because I mean, and I've heard from past live Facebooks, blah blah blah, my addiction, blah blah. Yeah. Same record plays over and over and over. You can't keep on doing that to promote wrestling, can you? No.
No, you can't, and that's why I don't
Eh,
play into it. Right? I don't even respond to it on the internet. Hey, listen, God
No.
bless him that
Yeah,
he overcame his demons. Right?
I
And you
know.
don't want anybody to be,
No,
no matter who it is, whether it's your enemy
No.
or not. You just you don't want
Yes.
to you don't want to see anybody like that.
No. And you know,
But to
and
use
I'm
it
look-
as a crutch, I mean, yeah, that's a little
Yeah.
too much.
yeah, to be around kids that he's promoting shows. Well, that's another story for another time. You know that how he always promotes kids.
I can't tell him how to run a
And
show or what
we're
not
gonna-
to.
No, and because I've watched like the tapes and seen footage of what they do on their horrible. Like I could say that it was horrible product. Really,
I
Like,
wouldn't
they don't know what-
tear down the product. I mean, listen,
Yeah.
those
I
guys
was gonna
that are
say,
in that,
hold on, we're not.
Yeah,
no, we're not
No.
doing
Yeah,
that. We're not
that's-
tearing down
Alright.
the product. I mean, he
No.
puts on an incredible.
yeah,
Listen, he's
Yeah.
got guys in that ring that
Mhm.
really tear ass, man. And
Yeah.
you know what? If you tear down a product,
yeah.
and all the attacks I've ever did to him, and I did some
Mhm.
real attacks. It was always personal. It was always to Rob Fury. Like that's
Right.
if you listen, if that's the face of your company, well, that's the trash of your company.
Mhm.
I never attacked SWF because let me tell you, they got some
No.
superior wrestlers, and
They
there's
do.
been a lot of superior wrestlers that came from there. So
Mhm.
you know what? I don't. That's not a fair shake, and that's not a fair statement.
Mm-hmm.
Brando Lee and Evander James and this and that. No. They are incredible wrestlers.
Yeah. But you know what? We'll
And just
Well-
because
gotcha.
just because it's a shitty situation and shitty things have happened, we learn from here, right? Every curve that we make, every step that we take, whatever that stupid saying is, it's a learning curve. No business
Absolutely.
is perfect. Nobody's perfect. It is what it is. I'm not perfect. You're
Right.
not perfect. We're all not freaking
I'm not.
perfect.
Yeah. No.
So at this
I
point,
make more mistakes than anybody.
Mhm.
at this point, we just have to go with the consequences. With whatever happens, whether it's good, bad, ugly, whatever, we have to go with the consequences. Because
Hey, listen, I accept for what it is. I mean, I'm not mad. I mean, I kind of get where you're going, and I kind of get where you're insinuating at. And I believe this is going to stem off of our last uncensored, by the way, which I do want to touch on,
okay,
if I may,
yeah,
because
absolutely.
you brought up this word, which you know, give me what was the last time we did it? We did the very first one. Was it 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago?
Something like that. It was,
Right.
yeah, probably like 3 weeks ago.
Right. And you brought up this to me. You said the word loyalty. The people that had my back, the people that were there, the people, right? And some people didn't come to the show. What I call a kind of a little protest. Fine. But see, I never responded back to that properly. Right? Since this is uncensored and I'm able to touch on things, I'm gonna touch on it.
Go ahead.
Whether anybody likes my response or not. But it goes both ways, right? So the word loyalty goes both ways. I think I am humbled and I'm thankful. And believe me when I tell you, I am so thankful. And I thank the Lord up above. I'm not too much of a religious man. But I do. There's many things that I call miracles. And one of these miracles is this, okay? That I, as a promoter, and I use that term loosely, right? I, as a promoter, have the ability and the humbleness and the thankfulness that I can just pop a date. I don't have to ask everybody, hey, you booked this day, you booked that day. These guys already know. They're there. For day in and day out and show in and show out. And Titan Championship Wrestling has been 30 of them already. Actually, no, next week marks 30. Under every weather element, under everything that came our way, under every mistakes that have happened, shit that has happened, bad things that have happened, great things that have happened. Again, that's what the hashtag Titan Strong, hashtag Titan Proud. That hashtag Titan Family, if you want to go with the loyalty, well, that goes both ways because I've showed every single ounce of that tenfold because it is my platform and it is my company that has done that. And believe me, I'm not putting myself on a pedestal, and I'm sure the hell don't have an ego. I don't. All right. I really, really, honestly, God, don't. But I do know facts, and I do know that I have tried my best on everything I've ever done. But there's a lot of things that I've got to throw against the wall, and there's a lot of things I got to see if it sticks and if it works. And 2023, when I tell you I got shit in the fan, I mean it. If it works, it's great. But you know what? I still stand by, and I will stand by my decisions, whether I'm right or wrong. And I've made some ill errors, all right, that I still get ribbed on every once in a while, like the gargantuan and all that. You know what I'm saying? Funny errors, but I can look back and go, all right, I learned my lesson. Now I'll look at tapes and check on somebody before I book them, right? As promoters, we all make mistakes, but it's how you do it. It's how it goes along. But when you're loyal to a brand and you're loyal to something, for good or bad, you stand by it. And that doesn't just go for me. That doesn't go for me at all. That goes for every single independent wrestling company that's out here. If you're loyal to that brand and you did everything you can to help build that brand, well, for good or bad, man, you stand by it. You know, that one time where something's rough and you say, fuck this, I'm out of here. Then what good was it? I've seen so many companies get torn down that way. And I whatever. I mean, it is what it is. It's none of my business. But at the end of the day, I've done everything I possibly can to ensure that platform and to ensure that loyalty and give that loyalty. Am I by myself? And to give that back. And you know what? And I get people who are going to have personal feelings. And I get people don't like him, and I get people couldn't stomach him, or whatever the case may be. But we're failing to realize one thing, because just as much as it was real for me, I gave that same realism back to them. That was their moment to say something from the crowd. That was their moment to say something that was there. And believe me when I tell you, okay? Believe me when I tell you, people did last night. Don't get it twisted. Rob didn't go out of there with actually feeling like he was $1 million. Okay, because people did give him his their thoughts. So not only was it realism for me, but it was realism for everybody else as well. So you know, it is what it is. Like I'm not gonna cry over spilled milk. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move forward. You bet your ass. Hold on, David, and you
Absolutely.
bet your ass, and you bet your ass. I am revamping all 4 companies. For what my decisions are, and I'm not holding them back anymore. And I'm going to stand by what I'm doing. And if I'm revamping Titan Championship Wrestling, I'm doing it. If I'm revamping Goddesses of War, Kevin Nasta is doing it. And if I'm revamping Funhouse of Wrestling, Magic is doing it. Because let me tell you something, Funhouse of Wrestling is going to start bending the rules. And if I'm revamping Titan Kids, that's what I'm doing. Because I'm holding nothing back. We have played games now from... Not games. I said that wrong. We have gone through trial and tribulations ever since the lockdown. Titan Championship Wrestling has been up against every single goddamn bad thing that you could even have happened. Okay, but let me tell you something. Feelings. I'm just putting this out there. Feelings and bad things that happen and this and that and this and that. And if you're a goddamn promoter, you understand this, because the ones that aren't promoters and they haven't been in this driver's seat don't understand this. But let me tell you something. Feelings and friendships and the brothers and the sisters and everything else do not pay for fucking tickets. They don't pay the budgets. They don't pay the buildings. They don't pay the bills. You do the very best you can to put on an epic show for the fans, regardless of what the circumstances are. And I put my personal feelings into it. And I don't regret it. And I'm not going to sit here and regret it.
like I said, Billy, Titans waving that flag strong, and it's going to be a it's going to be a ride that we're going to put all gas, no brakes. And 2023 is going to be a year of Titans. That's really going to, we're going to see some things that, and I'm curious on. I don't know if we get a little sneak peek about this Unleashed. I've been hearing little tidbits about this.
Are you able
Unleashed.
to clip this? Like, I don't know. Is anybody able to actually clip this and put it up?
I could save it after,
I'm here.
Billy. I could.
Well, because what I'm saying is I will actually drop what it is tonight, right now. I will drop what Unleashed series is right now for the Titan Uncensored.
Hold on. Before we get there, we can get there. We can definitely get there. However, I want to ask one more question.
Sure.
What do we expect from the aftermath? What is the goal of the aftermath?
Everything that transpired at the Mount Olympus. Everything. There was a lot of gripes and issues between wrestlers in the Rumble. I mean, people were eliminated, and obviously they want retribution.
Okay.
There's just when you have such a high show, you have such a big show. I mean, it's wrestling, it's competition, right? I mean, look, I'm gonna give you the first scoop on this as well, because I don't think the hype went out yet. The number one contender, SP called this, man, the number one contender, who gets a shot at Anthony Gangone's title, is Johnny Moran versus Rick Recon at the Aftermath.
Shut the front door. I've been waiting for that for 2.5 years.
They have never wrestled each other before.
I've been waiting for that for 2.5 years.
So for a number one contender, Johnny Moran versus Rick Recon at the Aftermath. So let me tell you something. There is a lot of things that's going to be taken care of at the Aftermath, and you sure don't want to miss this, because just like Mount Olympus was the catalyst for going into 2023, so is the Aftermath.
All right. Well, we have some interviews lined up this week with Rick Recon. We have some interviews this week with Benjamin King. Steve Off, he would like to talk about his experience in the Rumble.
Steve Off, the promoter, the owner, the of Pro Wrestling Magic at the Mecca, man. Let me tell you something. Awesome event. Awesome guy. Awesome all the way around.
Blocks is going to be, he's scheduled for this week as well. We have on Wednesday night, we have probably about 4 or 5 interviews we're going to be doing throughout Wednesday. It's going to be Titan Wednesday.
Hold on, my mic went out.
Could I? Oh.
Are we there?
Yeah, we're here.
Billy? Uh-oh. Who's you doing? Plug your phone?
Can you hear us now?
Are we there?
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah, I unfortunately,
you can hear us.
I got a phone call
and
it took out my mic. So give me a second here.
It's all good. What's up, Mama? Hi.
Give me 1 second. Sure. And of course, it's got to be Amber. God forbid.
Of course.
Are we there?
Yeah, we're here.
We're here.
You're still there. Got you, Billy.
We're here.
Hold on. I'm trying to connect it.
Every time, man, there's so many technical difficulties. I don't like this. Stupid technology.
That's why it's
right?
uncensored. Why it's uncensored. Mobile offices. Titan. Technical.
How about now?
We're here.
We are here, Billy. I was going to mention Billy and Jeanette.
Okay.
And Jeanette, I was going to mention. Oh, why is there an echo? Echo.
Because I had to have you guys over my stereo.
Oh, all right.
Gotcha.
And I was talking to Jeanette that off. And we were talking about the tag team match next. We never talked about the tag match from last night. The Demon Saints versus the South Philly's Finest. What a match that was last night. That we got a really good tag match. That blew my mind away. Like, fans were impressed.
It was incredible. Yeah, it was incredible. And I mean, there'll be a promo going out soon. Apparently, as an inside scoop, apparently Benjamin King had a conversation with South Philly's Finest in the back. So does that mean that South Philly's Finest becomes in the division? I don't know. But you best believe, and you will believe, and you understand that South Philly Finest will be back at Titan Championship Wrestling, regardless.
They're really good. I've seen them a few places.
Shall we jump into the Unleashed
series? We have about 9 minutes.
All right. Well, the Unleashed series. The Unleashed series starts on February 4th. And the Unleashed series is 6 matches where everybody's restricted. You know, you got that 8 to 10, 10 to 12 bell time, right, for each match. Well, let me tell you something. When it comes down to the Unleashed series, you talk a 20, 25-minute bell time where every single competitor in that match is only 6. You got 3 in Mission 3, where there's only 6 matches where they can legitimately everything in the line, everything in that ring, and leave everything in that ring with those 2 competitors. Whether it's shoot, whether it's strong style, whether it is 100% sheer wrestling, pure pro wrestling. And you're talking an extended bell time like that, where every single wrestler, and if you take Titans tops and you put them in an Unleashed series with 20 to 25-minute bell time per match, and the whole object of it is that for those fans to be in it. And believe me, I want those fans to be just as vocal and just that loud, whether their approval for that match or their disapproval for that match. And those wrestlers inside that ring all understand that they're putting everything out there. Everything they got. Nothing short of. That is what's Unleashed.
It's going to be freaking epic.
Epic.
You have no idea.
Epic. Because when you take guys like Johnny Moran, and you take I wouldn't even say guys, I mean, we're talking about straight, sheer professional wrestlers. Mm-hmm. It's Johnny Moran, Anthony Gangone, Rick Recon, Wrecking Ball Legursky, Steve Mack, Black Cheese, Joker.
Your mom's on the way.
I mean, I definitely don't want to exclude anybody out. TJ Marconi, PJ Savage. I mean, did you see the job Michael Fane did? Jacko. Bro, you know who's going to really eat that alive? Ray Kalitri.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And you take the restriction off of them. You take it off of them, where they've got 20 to 25 minutes to legitimately, in that ring, to tear the house apart with no restrictions. Blaze hurrah. Think about it, right? Really. Completely unleashed. They're completely unleashed. Where every ounce of their creativity and what they have in their arsenal, their craft, everything they've done, and every training that they had, and every move set that they got to be applied within a 20 to 25 minutes out there for you fans, unrestricted. And I want those fans, and those fans will understand, to be as loud as their approval or their disapproval. Because the fans is the answer. The fans is the ones that tell them that they are that great. And that is Unleashed.
Wow, that sounds like it's going to be very awesome concept, and I'm looking forward to that. And everybody else should be too, as well.
Yeah, we will. We'll keep doing this until it's just going to keep going. It's raw.
I want 12 of the best. There's no tag teams. There's no triple threats. There's no rumbles. There's nothing. It's one-on-one, extended bell time,
6 matches. Go all out.
Good.
Billy, I want to say thank you. Thank you for coming on tonight. I'm gonna bounce out of here. I gotta get up for work in the morning.
Same.
Vacation's over.
I have to put these little ones to bed. I just want to say thank you for coming on again, and
Thank you.
Always talking to us with no filter. That's what we're here for.
You hit me with the hard one.
We're here
Jeanette.
to hear you
Always
without
do.
a filter.
Thank you. Thank you for everything you
Of course. And thank you for coming on tonight. And we will be back on Wednesday for a fun night of Titan Uncensored. It's going to be about 3 hours long.
Woo!
So I have to do my homework.
You better take some cough drops.
We have
Oh, can I?
Ricky.
Could I?
Rick Recon. I'm sorry.
Jump back. Can I jump in? I want to plug my podcast. I want to plug my podcast for tomorrow night. Stay tuned. Monday night for Tarzan Durant will be live on the Deathmatch Wrestle podcast.
Cool.
Nice. That'll be a good one as well. And today we have Friday morning we have Benjamin King. Wednesday we have Rick Recon. We have Ben Castle.
Oh, that'll be
have
exciting.
Block. Yes.
Oh, wow.
of course.
Okay.
We have Blocks. We have Daniel Alexander.
Awesome.
We have Steve Off.
Wow. Okay.
Pending on the way things go, we might have Jay the Key Evans to welcome him back to Titan.
That's awesome. Awesome. You did an
and-
incredible job as well.
Yeah, we're going to be pretty busy on Wednesday.
I'm excited to hear all of them.
So just tune in. Thank you again, Billy, and we will see you guys soon.
See you soon.
Don't forget Aftermath next Saturday, 11/26 in Hoboken, New Jersey. And we will be posting about that as well.
The aftermath, baby.
Everything.
Follow Titan Uncensored on social media: Facebook Titan Uncensored, Twitter @Uncensored Titan, YouTube Titan Uncensored, sponsored by Deathmatch Wrestle Podcast.